Mike's Daily Podcast.
Episode 3293, 3293. We know
Mike's Daily Podcast.
There are 3 billion podcasts out there. Gabillion is a number that doesn't exist, but that's clear. It's a big number, and there's way too many podcasters, and people are very confused. So I'll take a stand and say that a podcast should be a wannabe radio show.
Mike's Daily Podcast.
Although now people think a podcast is a wannabe TV show, which I am not doing. Oh, that just reminded me.
Mike's
I better turn the camera on.
Daily
Because
Podcast.
I'm a wannabe TV show.
Yeah!
A wannabe. Oh, I'm surrounded by cats. See, I need this video on so people can see all the crazy cats that surround me. We're broadcasting from Café Anyway, somewhere in podCastro Valley, the last place on earth in the land of Ameritopica. If you would like to see the video, it is up for one day. And so you got to rush out there and check it out at mikesdailypodcast.com. I have this website. I've had it now, I think it's got to be over 10 years at this point. The podcast has been going on for about 17 years. And it must be because we're at FF episode 3293. And so I've seen a lot of things happen with the podcast. Back in the day, when I started, there weren't really any apps that played podcasts. I'm actually wearing a t-shirt that says Stitcher on it. That was one of those first apps that came along that lets you listen to podcasts, made it more easy to listen to it. And I think it also included radio stations that you could listen to their live streams. Well, they're gone. They went under because Spotify crushed them. YouTube, it was Google Podcasts at one point had a tough time against its rival Apple Podcasts. The competition was very...
And here's today's podcast picture.
But then Google said, wow, all these people are watching YouTube, and we own YouTube. Why don't we create something called YouTube Music, and we'll throw podcasts on that? So then they suddenly exploded and beat Spotify, and I don't know, I think it's a competition between them and Spotify. But the podcast picture is of yours truly at the beach at the wonderful Half Moon Bay, where I took this great, wonderful animal, the late great Basil the Boxer, many times, as we ran on the beach there in podCastro Valley. Well, no, wait, this would be Half Moon Bay. We ran on the beach. There's no beaches in podCastro Valley. Well, except for some places along Lake Chabot. And once upon a time, there was a beach over there in the Cold Canyon Lake. But that lake's long gone. The silt took it away. But see that picture at mikesdailypodcast.com of a recent visit to Half Moon Bay. The last podcast was called Watchstanders. Didn't even know that was a word, but apparently it's someone that's standing on a boat watching for someone who... In this story that we had, there were some people that were out at sea, stranded out in sea in 10-foot high waves, somewhere in the Pacific, the South Pacific. A family, almost like Swiss Family Robinson, but I don't think they were Swiss. But they were found, and they were safe. But they survived out on the open ocean for a week, and that story at mikesdailypodcast.com. Well, the last podcast, basically, which was episode 3292. But this is 3293. We recently went through tax day.
I can't hear you. Press the button, you donut.
Speaking of donuts, Krispy Kreme. And I always forget this every year on tax day. I knew there was something nagging at me, and that is they give you a free dozen donuts. Customers who purchase any dozen donuts at regular price can get a second original glazed dozen for free on tax day. I know why. I don't remember this is because I'm coming up on my late 50s here, and I really got to watch that stuff. But when ordering online, you're supposed to use the promo code TAXBREAK. I'll have to remember that for next year. To buy them and give them to other people. I'll give them away on the podcast. But the odds of getting audited are down. Audits have already been declining for over a decade. In the year 2025, the IRS completed a little under 500.
Will Robinson.
Danger. 500,000 audits. 500,000. A historic low. And it was a huge slide from an average of 1.7 million per year. What? From 1.7 million audits down to less than 500,000. Cut in half. That was between the years 2010 and 2012. They had over 1.5 million per year. The IRS started last year with 102,000 employees, but after the Doge cuts, it got cut down from 102,000 down to 74,000. They cut a quarter of the workforce in the IRS.
Do you people really think you can get healthy by eating protein Doritos?
Protein Doritos! I just wanted to announce that. You know, my whole life, I always thought, why? Why do I deserve anything? What makes me special? Nothing. You know what though? All of us, you're unique just like everyone else. But no, that's a joke. But the point is, we are all unique. We're all, I said snowflakes, but not really. I mean, some of us are really snowflakes and, you know, everything offends us. But there are others. We're all uniquely crafted, let's just say. And so we should celebrate all our differences. And I guess that's what a lot of people have done. And they go and they make their own podcast show and they do their expression of creativity using the internet in different ways. And sometimes I look at these gabillions of podcasters and go, why do I do it? And then I realize, well, I guess nobody else has a Café Anyway with all these crazy Café Anyway characters and all these stories that nobody's exactly Mike Matthews. So I guess that's a good thing.
Is that why you're bald, Mike?
Yes. That's my other unique thing. I'm bald, unlike a lot of people that the YouTube influencers that get really popular. They always have beautiful hair and they're really young and they don't know anything. Because I didn't know anything when I was young. How are all these YouTube influencers making all this money and people are going to them for advice and to get their news and to get their advice and tips and learning from them? How are they being taught? How are they being taught by a 4-year-old is the question. This is what's happening on YouTube and TikTok. People are going to, well, whatever. But everyone's got an interesting point of view, I would say. So speaking of babies, more babies are now born to parents over 40 than under 20. That's right. The parents, if you're over 40, you haven't had kids yet, hey, you're in good company because now more babies are being born to parents over 40 than under 20 in the U.S. Some couples are rejecting having kids altogether, but much of it can be explained by more people delaying starting a family until later in life. So the over 40-year-olds are outnumbering the under 20-year-olds.
It didn't go quite as planned. Watch here.
And it sometimes doesn't go quite as planned, but you can watch here if you'd like. If you go to mikesdailypodcast.com and click on the thing that says, see the video here. Popular musicians, they're losing life savings through this malicious crypto wallet in the Apple's App Store. Musician G Love. Oh, G Love! Yeah, he's kind of like a Jack Johnson type. I have a G Love album somewhere. He lost his life savings. That amounted to 5.92 Bitcoin. Just 5 Bitcoins, I guess, because they're worth a lot.
It's a trap.
It's a trap. Don't get into this whole Bitcoin crypto thing. Although I am hearing with the Strait of Hormuz that the ships being let through are paying in stable coin and all of that. And I have no idea what that means, but it's frightening to me. But anyway, Café Anyway, that 5.92 Bitcoin amounted up to $424,000 after he updated to a new wallet on his phone. Okay, what? I don't understand what any of that means, but I hope the best for G Love. He had some good... I worked with a guy named J Love, and he's still on the radio. He probably does not even know that I exist anymore, but I worked with him, and let's just say it was not enjoyable. But he's entertaining the masses still in the radio world, so best of luck to him. But does he have great celebrities like this stopping by Café Anyway?
Isn't this cool?
Hello!
Go figure, huh?
Yes.
I'll be darned. I bet a lot of people come up here.
They do.
And it's still stand and be here forever.
Café Anyway.
This guy created.
I created it.
Huh.
Café
Cool.
Anyway. Thank you for stopping by, RVR TV guy. That guy's got a lot of followers. Wow. I love watching his YouTube channel. And you know, he never puts himself on camera unless he mistakenly does it. Like he walks past a mirror and catches his reflection and he'll wave. Or you see his shadow, he'll wave. But it's all about showing you the sights of all the places he travels to around the U.S. And I want to travel to some of the places he went to and he's gone to. And he keeps putting out stuff.
Hey, good looking. We'll be back to pick you up later.
Oh, thank you. It's very nice and flattering, that person. Where are we going to? Where are we traveling to? Sin City? Apparently it is not luring sinners much anymore. Visitations have been declining. Real estate prices have been falling. The metro area's unemployment rate is higher than nationally. It's at a little under 6%. The casino industry is ailing. People visiting, it has dropped by a little over 7% last year, the sharpest annual drop since record keeping began back in 1970. Canada is Canadians, I should say.
And they have 150 to 200 gas pumps.
What?
Okay.
In Las
Why?
Vegas or Canada?
Massive. It's like a Walmart-sized convenience store.
What?
I'll say.
And inside is anything you can imagine.
Anything you
food-wise,
need.
From burgers to barbecue to chicken to...
So it's like a truck stop on steroids.
That's right.
Oh, at least. On
Okay.
maybe a quadruple dose of steroids.
I'm surprised.
It is called Café Anyway, and it is a quadruple dose of steroids here. If you want to stop by this crazy truck stop, this roadside shack that's slightly out of whack. But yes, Canada is Las Vegas's biggest foreign market. Canadian visitors dropped by, but not as many have been dropping by because it has dropped by nearly a quarter last year. The U.S. online gambling market has grown to over $20 billion in annual revenue. That is up more than 200% from before 2019 when legalization began accelerating state by state. And now it is up more than 200% online gambling. $20 billion in revenue every year. Oh my gosh, look who's stopping by.
American Top 40.
Hey.
This is Casey Kasem.
Hey.
You're listening to Mike's Daily Podcast, broadcasting live from Café Anyway
Yay.
in the heart of PodCastro Valley.
That's right.
Starring your host, Mike Matthews.
Hi.
You know, Mike got his start in radio waking up at the butt crack of dawn on Sunday mornings, playing back my show at a little radio station in Santa Barbara.
It was fun.
Here's a long-distance dedication to you, Mike. All the way from the grave to you, Mike. From me, Casey Kasem. Thanks, Mike.
It was great doing that job, getting up at 4:30 in the morning, driving up the coast, because I was living in Oxnard, driving up Highway 1 to get to Santa Barbara near the zoo. It's kind of near the Santa Barbara Zoo where the radio station was, and I had to be there before 6 o'clock. Oh, so early. So early. And I'd have to remember to bring a sandwich because I was sitting in there from 6 to noon playing back the Casey Kasem show starting at 8. I had a small half-hour show from 6 to 6:30. Woohoo! People up that early actually got to hear a really young Mike Matthews, which doesn't sound too different from the old Mike Matthews. But mobile betting now accounts for roughly 90% of all sports wagers. We're betting on our phones. It's following us. It's following us wherever we go. It sits in our pocket. It is dramatically reducing the need to visit the physical gambling casino places. And finally, if you do want to travel somewhere, United Airlines and American Airlines might merge. United Airlines is floating the idea of a potential tie-up with rival American Airlines.
Mike is awesome.
Thank you. I got that information from that guy right there. Rob Black. I produce his podcast. He's heard on AM 1220 KDOW weekdays in the 5 p.m. hour, and he's on Cron TV Monday through Thursday in the 9 a.m. hour, and he gets all this great information. They are trying to shop this to the Trump administration. If acted upon, it would create the world's largest airline. United, American, Delta, and Southwest already dominate air travel. They have 80% of domestic capacity. If American and United merged, they would have roughly almost half of the domestic share at 40%. History suggests that consolidation actually leads to higher prices. No! No! I'm hitting my head against the outside wall of Café Anyway. No!
No, no, no. 1,000 times no!
I'm glad you agree. Fares on overlapping routes could rise anywhere up
this
to...
This is Judge Clinton Cup in San Francisco.
Hey!
I'm trying to get the telephone number. Get me the number into the studio.
Oh, you want to call the studio?
To be on the radio.
All right.
Be a good cheer.
You be a good cheer, too. Well, the number is 510-228-4640. 510-228-4640. I'll give it out again at the end of the show. In an obnoxious way, probably, but yes. So the fares on overlapping routes could rise up to 15%, with the biggest increases on routes where competition is eliminated. Isn't that interesting? What's happening here? Capitalism is not working the way it's supposed to. A $300 domestic round trip ticket could rise from $300 up to $345. Then there's fewer flight options and less schedule flexibility, which for us here in the Bay Area means if you're on the East Coast and you want us to come visit you, we got to get up at 3 in the morning. We got to catch that flight at 6. That's the only flight we'll be able to take to get to go see you over there, wherever you are. On the East Coast, New York, Bronx. Maybe you're over in Philadelphia. Maybe you're in Florida. So much for going to that Universal Epic Kingdom thing and seeing that Frankenstein castle light up when they shock the Wookiee. Isn't that a great song from Peter Gabriel? Shock the Wookiee. Da, 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 da. No, it's Frankenstein's castle. The shocking and the electricity and all that and they got a windmill on fire. That looks cool too. You know what else is cool? Is I played for my lovely lady friend last night one of my favorite albums of all time. You won't know what it is. You may have heard of the band Asia. They had the song, "It was the heat of the moment. Tell me what my heart meant." Their third album, okay, that was off their debut album. Their third album was called Astra, like an Astra belt, Astra plane, Astra, I don't know, space related. And I loved that album. Nobody knows it. It is very obscure.
We are warriors!
Oh my God!
The bottom of the chart.
Pretty good songs that never made it on the radio because
people didn't think they were worth it. But you know what? They come back up, and people start playing them, and it's like, oh, where'd that come from?
The only song that got really popular off of it, and by really popular, I mean I think it just missed the top 40, was a song called Go. Get up and go! But Asia fans, they know it. And apparently Asia was huge in Russia. And they called them Asia. But fewer flight options and less schedule flexibility. I don't like that. And of course, they're charging more fees now for your bags and seat selection. Expect more of that as airlines gain pricing power. For travelers, it's a clear negative. They just raised the price for any reason at all. The war.
Why do they always interrupt our snacking?
Tariffs, hunting demons, whatever it is. Those K-pop demon hunters. Fascinating, isn't it? We've covered a lot of things today, but we have not covered this fascinating topic. The topic that is known as Chely Shoehart. Hello, Mike Matthews. It's Chely Shoehart, gift shop supervisor. I'm an interesting topic, Mike Matthews. Yes, you're a great topic. You're not a hot topic. You're not a store in a mall. And I don't know, I guess they do carry snow globes at that particular store, but you have them in your gift shop. That's right, Mike Matthews. But I don't really consider them competition because they're really more for the really young people. I'm for slightly older, mature clientele, Mike Matthews. Chely Shoehart and her exploding snow globes. Yes, best of luck with those. And we sure hope nobody gets hurt with the exploding snow globes. But you know what else is I find sometimes in my line of work, or maybe just in life in general, people ask me dumb questions. And it goes like this. Mike, your show's called Mike's Daily Podcast. Do you really do it daily? And if you've listened to the show for a while, you know the answer to that question. Yes. Occasionally I get interrupted. Occasionally we always take the big holidays off. What was the last big holiday? Was it the 420 holiday or Volunteer Appreciation Day? Something like that. One of those big holidays. We take those big holidays off. So yes, it is a daily podcast. And then there are people that like to ask me stupid questions. Like, let's see, what was the one I got today? I could tell you the story, but it wouldn't really apply. But it just had something to do with they weren't using common sense. That always throws me when people, there's no dumb questions and all that. But it is dumb questions if the base level of common sense wasn't used when the question was asked, is what I feel that expression should be changed to. But look who else is here. Hello, Mike. This is Floyd the Floorman. And this is John Deere, the engineer. Yes, Mike, I think I understand what you're saying, that sometimes people ask questions without thinking them through first. Exactly. It's like they're asking the question just to, fill the time. Like they don't know what else to say. So they ask a question. They don't care what the answer is. And they don't know that they already know the answer. By asking the question, they've answered it. That kind of thing. I guess slightly rhetorical. Maybe that's what I'm going for. Maybe I'm going for a quick...
Mike makes music.
Why don't you think about the question before you ask it? Schoolhouse Rock. See, that should have been a Schoolhouse Rock song. That would have helped out a lot of kids that are grown up now asking stupid questions. But you know what? What do you think about all that? What's your stupid question? Here's the number to call.
Call Mike at the Café Anyway hotline. Area code 510-228-4640.
And with all things having to do with Mike's Daily Podcast, we go to the mainframe and hear from A-Frame. Thank you for listening to Mike's Daily Podcast.
Mike's Daily Podcast is written and produced and performed by Mike Matthews. His podcast is super easy to find. Download or listen to his show and read his blog at mikesdailypodcast.com. Email Mike now at mikesdailypodcast@gmail.com. See you tomorrow. Bye.